Hey guys, JW here. We are going to be getting some steaks ready for the grill. Let's take a look at how to maybe prep or season them according to your taste. My taste is usually heavily seasoned. Let me get you set back up here so you can see everything that I'm doing tonight. All right. So I have a couple different cuts of meat here. But they are well known as just steaks. I'm going to pull them out of their plastic, or I may open them up here. Just give them a nice rinse off. Make sure there's no bones or anything that is going to get in the way. Okay. So for tonight, this steak, I'm going to use some Cavenders, no promotions or anything, just all me. This is what I like to use and want to share it with you. Now I'm just going to give it a nice, happy, healthy dose. And if you look at my cutting board, it has those edges for anyone that's new. I like it because it's going to keep all the juice on here and not in my floor when transporting it back and forth. Now we're just going to kind of rub that in there. Soak up what's on the thing. Just want to rub it into the meat here. Wipe it down on the sides. Okay. A little quick rinse off here. And dry our hands. Now I'll let you kind of see some of the other steaks that I have here that we're going to prep as well. Now at some point I'll probably do a smoke video. This one I'm just going to try and get these out to the grill. This one I think is leaking a little bit, but you can look at it nice and marbled throughout the meat. Marbling is what the ratio of meat to fat is. I'm starting to like this cleaver. Oh wow, I made short work of the plastic. I know it's not good to use your knives with it, but I want something in my kitchen that I'm going to use every day. Prep from opening to straightening up the meat, and hopefully just overall a nice presentation. And we'll go ahead and do this one more time over here. So I don't mean to hog all the fun. Let's see if I can get this in here. I'm just going to set this on top of this one. Now, I'm not afraid to get everything nice and messy because I know I can clean it up. But just so you can see this beautiful knife in action, it's just one stroke and it has opened the bag nicely. Cuts through it plastic. That's a nice thick plastic there. I'm just going to give this a quick rinse off and set it here to dry. Remove our steak. I'm going to give it a little rinse off as well. This knife is so sharp. I'm going to show you one more thing that it did here as we bring this over. That knife was so sharp. Look at that. A clean cut plastic and meat. I'm like I said, I'm very impressed. Move my mic over just a hair. We're going to apply a nice amount here as well. Now this last one, I'm going to lightly season this one. Now this one is a thicker cut. And let's flip this one over here. Rub that in that on to this meat here. We're going to want to just give it some love here. Make sure it is all nice and seasoned well. For this one, I'm actually going to pull out something else. It's a different one. Let's see here. So I have a little bit left in this one. I may have to open another one. Now this is called Morton's. This one I'm going to just jazz up the flavor tonight with, because you don't want all your steaks to taste the same, especially if you're going to make a meal or two out of it. Just make sure you spread it around, rub some on that fat so it can get nice and juicy and tender as it cooks. So for this video, we're just kind of learning a little bit of the prep and stuff. Make sure you get your seasoning in there nice and coated just like that. Now if you want less flavor and you want to always use barbecue sauce, then don't add as much seasoning. Because when I go to eat a steak, I want the steak for its flavor and not so much for what sauce I can put on it. I love a good sauce, don't get me wrong, but when you get down to it, you just really want to taste the meat for the flavor that it is and appreciate where it came from, and just really get the overall flavor that you want. Now, when we go out there to the grill here in just 1 second, we're going to take and look at our grill and everything there. Like I said, there is no, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to make a couple scores into this meat. I'm just going to let it to where it can breathe a little bit. And as you can see, nice scores into it there. So when it goes to try and shrivel up or shrink up, those juices can kind of cradle back into the meat. Now when you go to flip them and so on, you may lose some, but I try to let them cook mostly on one side, and then right at the last minute I will flip them, let them get a nice sear, and pull them. Okay, so we're going to leave our knife and everything behind. Let's go ahead and head on outside. I'm going to turn off our extra mic. Alright guys, I'm going to take y'all with me, pardon the noise and everything. We're going to head on outside to the grill. We got to head through the playroom first. Got to put these on the grill over here. So we live close to a base, so you can hear all the helicopter and the noise. So right now I have a Pit Boss. I love it. It's a smoker and grill combo. We have our temperature nice and hot. We'll raise it up here. Now I've got most of mine on a medium to high heat here, and we're just wanting to get it in there just like that. Now later I'll probably come back out here with some tongs, but just look at that meat and the marbling. It's all the way through it. And now we wait just a few minutes, we're going to go wash up our cutting board. Pardon me. Let me grab the door for you. All right. It is a little cold out there tonight. That's my baby boy. My two boys. All right. Going to get this rinsed off. While that is going out there, just kind of clean up everything. So important tips when grilling as well is to make sure you clean up everything while you're waiting for that first nice good long sear. Some people will say, hey, I like to just slap it on there and flip-flop it. I like to know. Let me know what you like to do on yours, and I'll probably try and take a look and do that as well. All right. Got that over there. Oop. Kitchen accidents happen. This one was because my towel was underneath. So I have my water nice and hot. I like to just use a little Dawn, just regular Dawn. A little bit goes a long way. Get our little scrub. Now this one, I like this one. It's a good mix between sponge and plastic. This water is nice and hot. Just want to make sure you get all the soap off because you don't want to have to deal with that later. Alright. And what I like about this rack is I can just set it in somewhere like that. Clean up my mess as I go. And while we're at it, we're just gonna rinse this off as well. Bring it on over just a little closer. Now this, I want like a medium to cool heat. You don't want nothing too hot. Now with this, you will have to be, you don't have to be so generous with it because Dawn will go a long way. Be careful and watch your fingers when dealing with sharp knives like this. Notice I'm pushing away when I rub on that edge, and then just on the edge here where the meat was used and scorned. And then you can get a little more rapid with your soap once you're away from that edge. Just gonna give it a nice slow wipe. Now my finger always stays above that edge. When you get to the edge, push away. You do not want to cut yourself and cut dinner short. Alright guys, so now we have this. We're just going to give it a quick wipe off. I'll polish it up later. But nice and clean, ready to use once we come back in. Set it here so it can finish drying a little bit. Now I'm going to take and finish drying off with a nice towel, my board. And now let's grab some tongs. Okay. So we've got our knife, our got our tongs. Let me get everything settled up here as we go back out. Look at that beautiful knife on the way. Now, I know there's a lot of barbecuers and stuff out there. They're like, hey, why not just have all your stuff set up and ready to cook outside? Well, outside for me, as it is nice and dark. Just gonna set this here. Gonna go ahead and open that up. Oh, look at that beautiful flame. As you can see, it's opening up. Giving it a nice flip. Oh, look at those marks. And this steak is about done. Looks like we've only been doing all this process for about 16 minutes. I do it in real time. I don't do any cuts or anything there. Hey, buddy. Night. Yeah, it's night outside, isn't it? Okay. It's a nice flame and char grill. Oh, yeah. It's cooking up nicely. This definitely going to throw the heat down just a little bit. Check on this one. It's almost there. I like to do a nice medium rare. Medium to medium rare. Just hear those beautiful steaks sizzling. Try and get it in there where you can see it. Okay. Looking at that again. Give it a little flip there. Give this one a little flip. I like my fat on the edges to be nice and crispy, to give you that nice crunch when you bite into it. This one's that little thicker piece. Gonna kind of hold it up here on its edges. Set it up on this side. And every steak is going to cook different, so you have to kind of see that inside, if it's about where you want it to be. Sometimes I like to have it kind of rare. But just bring it down nice and low. It's getting there. Nice. Crispy on that side. That one, I'm just going to set that one up on top. those nice markings on there. Inside is looking like it's trying to be about done. It's cooking nicely. Call that one done. Just gonna set it on my board. Now for your thicker cuts like this one, I may actually have to leave this one on here for just a little bit longer. But my smaller ones, you can just see those right inside there. Alright, I'm gonna take these two thinner ones on in. We're gonna close this up here and leave it on a nice low to medium heat. Alright. We'll just go ahead and leave our tongs here on our pit boss. We'll go on inside and see how it all turned out. Alright guys, head back on into the kitchen. And let's take a look together. Now, I like mine to be a little pinker than most. So when we go look at this, I will grab us a fork because it is going to be nice and hot. But look at the outside layer on this one. It is looking very nice. Trying to work the angle here for you. Let's just scoot up here just a little bit more. Let's see here. Look at that. Nice, medium to medium rare. Go ahead and move up here towards the middle, the thicker part. Like I said, I like mine to be just a little on the rarer side. Look at that. Nice and juicy. Look at those juices flowing out of there. All right, guys. Well, I got one more here. Let me do the old switcheroo around here for you. So that steak over here, we're gonna slide it to the side and it is done. This one, just gonna start here on this end. Nice and pink and juicy. Now I know everyone does have their own preferences. I check this with a fork. Well, I say a temp fork. Let me get my wordage right here. A nice temp fork to check that heat is a nice medium rare steak here. We'll just do one more cut. Just a little closer here. I'm gonna take it right out of the center. Oh, look at that. Cut through the nice fat and everything. Loving this Dow Strong. That's that Quantum series. Catch it before it is sold out and gone for good. Just beautiful handle, beautiful design, and it cuts like a dream for all your meat needs. I would strongly recommend it. I mean, just look at that nice straight cut. But look at that. that beautiful coloring. All right, guys. Well, that's cooking steaks with JW for tonight. I appreciate your time. I'm gonna go grab that other steak and check it out. Have a good one.